In this video, I'm going to show you something that I think is one of the most important things in trading to learn, and it's not about just a trigger or an entry. I think traders sometimes focus too much on these things. They focus too much on what their entry is, what their strategy says in terms of a trigger or what gets them into a trade. Instead, I'm going to show you, I took two trades just as the London opened. And you can see here on the chart we had a breakdown lower under this low, we had a break lower, and then we had this big move up. So I caught both of these moves. I caught the breakout to the downside and took a profit, and then I caught part of this move up to the upside. And the way that I was able to catch these moves was not because of a trigger. It was because of what I call context and the story that the market's telling you. That is, in my opinion, far more important than a particular trigger. It's more important that you understand what the market is saying, and you can do that with volume analysis and with what the market actually does on the chart. So I show both of these trades, and I show you how my thought process through that. And I think it's going to be a very valuable video. I'm going to include all of my talking about context, how to read the charts, and I took two profitable trades. So if you follow along and you really think about what I'm saying about the context and the story that's building, I think it will improve your trading and it will help you understand the bigger picture about what's happening in a particular market in a given period of time. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I'm going to take a short here. Just going to see if this volume area holds. I've just got the London open, and I'm just basically looking for these lows to get taken out. We've had a try up. We had a break above these highs. We held, we balanced, and we had a nice drop back through. So what I'm looking for is probably just a test of this bottom edge of the range. There's a little low volume area here, so I'll just target that. And once we get a break of this low, which we've done, I'm going to get to break even now. So this trade's moving pretty quick. Probably going to look to get some off here soon. I'm going to look to scale some out. I probably should have took some off there. Didn't really get a chance, but if we get another nice little push down, I'll get some off. Just looking for it to try back into that low. Okay, so I'm going to take most of it off there, and the rest is at break even, and we're just going to see if we can get down into that area. I'll be coming in to take my stop here. The reason I was aggressive with the take profits and moving my stop is London just opened. This is the opening candle. You can see this huge volume come in. So it was a nice push, and we flushed these lows. It might continue lower, but this could quite easily be just a shakeout, taking the lows before we actually break above this volume area and continue higher. It's literally the first candle of London Open. So the situation was good, I thought, for a nice breakout, and I watched, there we go, so stopped out. So got out for two, so that was a profitable trade, and just protecting ourselves here. So this volume might hold, but again, this whole area, it's the London Open, so this whole area could get taken out, and then we can hold and push to the upside through all this low volume. So I really wouldn't want to be still short with my stop up here, because the likelihood is now, after doing this, now we've failed this area. So from an auction market perspective, we've tested under this low. We tried, we had a breakthrough, we pushed back up. So this huge volume here on this candle, there's a lot of shorts here now that are trapped. And given that we've pushed back up into the range, I would expect the bottom edge of this volume node to hold, and for the price to now flush back up through all of these highs, to break all of these highs up into this point of control up here. So I would now be looking for a long. If we get a nice pullback and we get a little trigger bar on high volume, something that looks like a bit of absorption, then I'll try a long at this point. But that was a nice quick short. Not the sort of trade that I would want to mess around with, but I watched it. We had an initial push higher, and we just had a little quick drop down, and that's where I got short for the break. So we'll see what happens now. But that was a good quick. So there we have it. So this is why it's risky to trade the London Open. The initial break, you can get a good move, like I caught here. I caught a nice break of this low. But when you get something like this, London Open, massive volume come in, you want to at the very least get your stop to break even, manage your risk as soon as you can get risk off. For this exact reason, because we had a huge, big drop, massive volume, and then the bulls are just taking it back above all those levels. All these people in this candle, all these shorts are now trapped. And my expectation would be for this volume area to hold, and we look to move up at least into this point of control, if not break these highs. Now at this point, with this big fake out. So if you're going to trade the London Open, just be careful. You want to get most of your profits banked as quick as you can, like I did in this situation, and then get your risk off straight away. Or at the very least, at least get to break even once you get a nice flush through. For this exact reason, you don't want to be stuck still holding a short position after it's broken lower, massive volume's been put in, and all of those shorts are now offside. You do not want to be in this position, because the likelihood that this thing's just going to now break all these highs is high, because these people are underwater, they're in pain, there's big volume that's coming here. So if we get close, maybe test this low, there's going to be shorts that are going to have to be aggressive buyers to get out. We may not even get a pullback. I'm hoping that we get a pullback and a little test under this low, and maybe to this high volume area, and then I can try and get in along. I doubt it's going to happen though, given what's just taken place. All these shorts will be in a lot of pain, and they're going to be trying to get out. So I would not be surprised if this thing just flushes straight through all these highs, as all of this volume that was put in here breaking this low as they panic to get out. But if we do have a pullback and I get a nice little imbalanced trigger, we form a little auction here, and I get my typical trigger that I look for, then I'll 100% be taking that trade. Because now, having a nice trigger is one thing, but now we've got the context. Now we've got the story of price tried to break out of this level, and there was a lot of participation, and it couldn't, and they've been flipped. So that's big context for me to tell me that there's a lot of trapped shorts now. So I'm really, until we break back under this area of value back down into this low to re-challenge it, unless that happens, my bias is to the upside, and realistically for all of these highs to be taken. So we'll see if we get some. So that's my thesis, that's what I'm looking at. And it's all because of this attempted breakout right at the London Open. That's given me a lot of context, and has painted the story of what's happening with this market now that there's all of those traders that are underwater. So that's why it's important that you don't just focus on the trigger with trading. You don't just look at it as here's a bullish outside bar, or here's a pin bar, or here's a supply area, or whatever it is, whatever trigger you think that it is that's going to move the market. It's more important to try and understand what's happening in terms of context and the story. And the story is, we've got all these people that tried to get short, and they're heavily underwater now. So that tells you that for them to get out, they need to come in and put in market buy orders. They're aggressive. That's an aggressive order. To do that, they're going to have to start jumping onto the ask to get prices, to be able to get out of their trade, right? And as this continues to happen, where price continues to flush higher and they continue to feel the pain, they're going to continue to add aggressive market orders, aggressive buy orders. The more that they see that their trade's not going to work out, you're going to get more and more people. There's going to be some shorts, maybe up at this point of control that might have stops just above there as a point of loss return. And then once we start creeping through that, you're going to see all of these highs get aggressively flushed through, because they won't be able to handle that that much pain anymore. So this is good. This is a really strong trade. This is the kind of trade that I would want to risk good size on. It's got everything that I look for. It's got the whole context. The trigger's so-so. This is not the most amazing trigger to me. I'd rather see a really nice drop lower and a big strong imbalance or some clear signs of absorption. This is a pretty good sign. But overall, the context is telling me that I'll try and get in anywhere that makes some sort of sense from a risk management point of view, because the story that's playing out is these people are in pain and they're going to have to get out of their trades, which is exactly what's playing out here. So if we get up into this point of control and we move above it and break these highs, this is where I would be looking at de-risking. Once this high gets broken, we're basically back above the point of control, and we should see at that point some aggressive flushing up through these highs. But we can still test this point of control and come back. So I don't want to get my stop up too quick. Realistically, I wouldn't expect price to now break out of this this area. So all right, so we've pushed up there. I'm going to get most of my risk off, and unfortunately, I only got two contracts on. I would have liked to have got more on here. I really would have liked to have gone quite big on this trade because it's got a lot of elements that I look for a very strong context. But that's okay. We just take it, take what we can out of the market. It's still going to turn into a good trade. I'm going to get one off here. At this point, we're pushing up quite high, so I've only got one position left on here, and I'm going to start trailing this other one behind this volume. As I said, because we're back above these highs now, and we're really at this point, these shorts should be feeling the pain quite a lot, and we should get a quick flush of these highs at this point, I would expect. This is big volume though. If you look at the volume here that's come in on this break higher, that's quite high volume. So, you know, there could have been a lot of covering there. The story could be over for this move, but that's okay. I'm going to just leave my stop where it is. See if we can hold this point of control and get another shove higher. If not, I'm going to look to re-enter as we come back down. Because there will still be now, there will now be people that are still short, holding their stops above this high. So if this high goes, then I would expect the whole story, the whole context to continue to play out, break all these highs. All right, no problems, that's out. So I can really see this coming back down to test this demand area. So I'm watching here to see what happens. If we get a nice touchdown here and some really high volume come in, I might try another order. Again, I think these highs are going to get taken, but that was still a nice trade, right? Two nice quick trades. The fake breakout, caught that, managed to get some profit out of it, and then when we imbalance back up, put all these traders underwater, caught all these shorts trapped, got in here for this nice break of this high,